has taken over.
Let's go.
It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on a bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out. The bad seed, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion trigger. Oh, woo, woo. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself. The founder of the Isle Seed Podcast, the rights owner of the Sheet of Integrity, the Put It With a Golf Guru, Carver. Hi this afternoon, ladies. Frank the Tank running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a Terrible Towel Tuesday, a double shot with Morency this very hour and within the walls of this hour. Mike DeCourcy, the famed scribe from the Sporting News. Also in the coup de grace, the final hour, a double shot with Coach James Young, our basketball analyst, with all of the deals that have been going down in the NBA. Plus, there's NHL today, deals out the yin there. And how about this? We got Brian Daboll. We got Yankees and Jays getting set to go on Canada, our home and native land. True pitch. It's Canada Day, Carver High. Very exciting.
It is Canada Day here on a Tuesday on C2C and
Yes,
July 1st, and that means that the Jays always play the home afternoon game on Canada Day, and that, of course, means that the Yankees will be involved in that after they lost to the Blue Jays last night. They'll try again here in about 5 minutes from now. Good pitching matchup. Max Fried and Kevin Gossman going today. Yankees are road favorites, minus $1.65. Toronto plus 140 with the 7.5. Can the Yankees get off the deck with Fried on the mound here?
Well, I think betting against him is a dangerous way to make a living, boy. I think that he just wins. He's 10-2. His ERA is incredible. He goes out. He goes 7 strong. He doesn't need runs. He doesn't need anything. This guy just wins. That's all there is to it. I wasn't surprised at all that the Jays won last night. And, you know, I was looking at that plus 139, whatever, for Gausman and thinking, would I pull the trigger on it? And no, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's tough. I mean, and you look at some of these the Yankees have worn out Gausman. I mean, Judge, 14 for 41 with 6 homers off of Gausman in his career. He's destroyed him. But the Jays are one of these teams that has now gone to the we're going to walk Judge every time he comes up routine. So we'll see if they stick to that today. I like Fried as well here this afternoon. A little bounce back for the Yankees. So we'll be watching that during the duration of Coast to Coast as they're about to throw first pitch after their Canada Day festivities. The Blue Jays wearing the traditional red jerseys as well today. Another Canada Day staple when they wear the red jerseys here at home. Very exciting indeed. It is free agency day in both the NBA and the NHL. The NBA really started last night, right when we got off the air. So we got a ton of deals to go through later on. I'll try to run down pretty much as many as I possibly can with you. But let's hit some of the highlights here. I would have to say, Scotty, probably the most unexpected thing that we have seen since the NBA opened up their doors for the offseason was this Miles Turner, Damian Lillard stuff with the Milwaukee Bucks. So Miles Turner leaves the Pacers to go to Milwaukee, gets 4 years at just about $1.13, and then the Bucks said bye-bye to Damian Lillard. They'll stretch out his deal, pay him all his money over a 5-year span, and he's free to go where he wants while he rehabs from his Achilles injury. Those were probably the two biggest surprises to me.
Yeah, obviously, there's nothing you can do about the fact that he's out for a year with this Achilles tear. So it is what it is. They're going to pay him a lot of money to do nothing. He's got the best job in the world. And I know he said that he's excited that he's afforded the opportunity to go wherever he wants when he's ready to go. So he feels like he got a ticket to paradise, like Eddie Money. And then I think Miles Turner is soft. So you can think whatever you want about his regular season popping from the top of the key, hitting threes when it doesn't matter. I thought certainly in the playoffs and the Eastern Conference Finals, et cetera, in the NBA Finals, I thought that he was invisible. And that includes rebounding. So he doesn't want any part of violence, it would appear to me. I think that he's a really good player when it doesn't matter. November, December, January, February, March. And then when the playoffs roll around, he wants no business when it comes to the low block or violence or rebounding or any kind of, frankly, defense down low. He's not taking on anybody. He stretches out, goes to the top of the key and jacks threes. And really, for the most part, in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, he missed like so many shots. It wasn't even funny, right? Like, am I tripping? No. So I don't think they're going to miss him. I think that they certainly have to figure out what they're going to do without him, but I don't think they're actually going to miss him. And I got to be honest with you. For my money, Brook Lopez is way better. He's violent. He'll foul you. He'll smash your face in. He'll rebound. He'll knock down as many, if not more, threes than Miles Turner. And you know it. Not only that, he's got a ring. So he's already done that, right? Like, so, and he's gone. He went to the Clippers, right? So, when they had him, they won a title. And with this soft ass saltwater taffy, good luck. Good luck. And that is not, in my view, that's not what Giannis needs. Like, seriously. He's already got it all on his back. He has to do everything. And they cheer Portis. But does Portis, like, since they won a title, they've gone downhill fast, right? And they don't matter. And that's with Portis. Now they brought him back. Not only that, they brought back all their other hacks on that team that didn't win. And they traded our boy Patty Connaughton today, the good Irish lad. I'm not interested in what they're doing in Milwaukee. And if I were Giannis, I'd be running. I'd be running out the door.
I think that's obviously the next piece to this puzzle because, there was one story that he didn't know about the Lillard thing. He's not happy about it. He's put up a couple of, cryptic social media posts that you're supposed to figure out what he means. So, what is he?
I'm not
what does
do
he
that.
want now?
I'm not going to try to figure out his secretive tweets. Thanks. I got better things to do.
Right. So we have plenty of NBA moves to talk about today. Lots of NHL moves as well. A lot of the big NHL stuff happened yesterday. So really today, it's mostly just bit parts. Although I will say I was surprised. They said that Besser was leaving Vancouver. He got 7 for 7.5 there. And he was supposed to be out the door. So he stayed with the Canucks. Corey Perry to the Kings.
Do you think he'll get attacked in a restaurant like Kane did for staying?
Probably not. I guess he likes it there enough. He's been there his whole career. I guess he liked it enough to go back and stay. So
and Patty Kane stayed in Detroit.
Patty Kane stayed in Detroit. 327. How many pregame festivities do we need here? 327 first pitch.
Canada.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We are seeing unbelievable temperature surges over the past couple days. So I wanted to ask you this question to let the people know, like, how do we account for that in our handicapping? Like, 2 good pitchers on the mound, but you look at a place like Wrigley Field, let's just say, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 90-plus degree temperatures. Is it almost like you say to yourself, you just have to fade the environment and not worry about the pitchers? Because if we're hitting fly balls, they're going yard.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Their team total is 19.5 wins. I told you to go under, and it's by far the best bet I have recommended on this network in 4 years. They can't get out of their own way. And now Sloot is out for the year. Let's hope Sloot gets back, because I respect the hell out of Sloot, and I want her to go out on her own terms. Hopefully we'll have her back for the 26th season.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets. We get Morency for a double shot, thank God, every day from Vancouver to start the first hour of the show. So, Gabe, I want to start with hockey and some of these deals. Besser stayed in Vancouver, and I asked Carver High if he thought he'd be attacked in a restaurant like Kane was. And then I want to get your thoughts on, like, wasn't it like obvious he was leaving forever, that he was out of there forever, and then he stays? And then your thoughts on some of the other moves, like Corey Perry ended up going to the LA Kings. There was all kinds of moves. What's your reaction to the start of free agency in the NHL?
Quick Kane update. I can't confirm it, obviously, because it's just word on the street type of deal, but word is he got sucker punched by a DJ, all right, for whatever reason. I don't know if they go back. I don't know what the deal is, but that's supposedly what happened, that he got psyched, like he was on a dance floor, he got punched, and he was held back from his own friends. Evander Kane was from doing anything back, actually, which was pretty, which is pretty smart of him. He was held back. So just quickly with that, that's from what I understand. He got sucker punched by a DJ in a DJ booth. As far as Brock Besser is concerned, very surprising in a sense that the Vancouver Canucks offered Brock Besser an $8 million a year deal last year, right? Like mid-season, they said, all right, you're a free agent coming up here. How's $40 million sound for 5 years, $8 million a year? And he said, well, you know what? Let's see what happens, and let's see how this plays out. I'm going to test the market. I personally thought that potentially he was going to go home, Scott. The Minnesota Wild never signed anybody, though, so I guess it was a stupid thought of mine. But Brock Besser's he's from the state of Minnesota. His father died last year. He's very close with his family. His mother's there alone. So I was thinking, you know what? I think this is where he's going with this as far as Vancouver. I will say he is super popular, Scott, in Vancouver. And now they want to build a statue because he just stayed. All right, but he was already a very, very popular player. But you have to understand, Besser, a lot of his goals came because of JT Miller. And he was close with JT Miller. And JT Miller and Pedersen got into it, so they traded Miller, right? And then Besser kind of lost one of his best friends on the team. And, oh, yeah, the guy that set him up, right? So then Besser's production went down, and people are like, what's wrong with Besser? What's wrong with Besser is JT Miller's not doing all the dirty work on the ice now, right? So the Canucks had a lot of drama. Rick Tocchet's gone now, obviously, but it seems as though they've really done a good job, Scott, of clearing the air. And something they've talked a lot about in this offseason, do you want to be a Canuck? Do you want to be a Vancouver Canuck? Right? And Brock Besser just sent a message that, yes, I want to be a Vancouver Canuck for the rest of my career. Evander Kane from Vancouver said, yes, I want to be a Vancouver Canuck. Jacob DeBrusk is from Vancouver, said, I want to be a Vancouver Canuck. That's why they got their eye on Barzal as well. They're looking for like Vancouver kids, Vancouver guys who grew up liking the Canucks. They want to have some pride with their organization. But quite a surprise, Scott. And Brock Besser, let's be real, he's a good player. Talking about a guy that can give you 30 goals, right? Like, it would have been a big deal if he signed anywhere else. I know it'll be a shrug. Oh, he stayed in Vancouver. But if he would have signed, like, with the Leafs, people would have been like, oh, my God, Brock Besser signed with the Leafs. They did a pretty nice job, all things considering, if you were the Vancouver Canucks, I think, in the offseason. They just gave Thatcher Demko. They extended him for 3 years, which is a perfect length because he's always hurt, but he's really good. So let's take a gamble here. 3-year deal. Connor Garland is back. Brock Besser's back. You bring in Evander Kane. A lot of people think they had to steal a draft on Friday night as well. I mean, they got the team captain of Team Canada and the youngest captain in the Western Hockey League. Canucks are on a little bit of a roll. There ain't no Stanley Cup parade coming next summer, Scott, but they look like a playoff team.
So the Kings lost Gavrikov to the Rangers, but they got Ceci, Dumoulin, Corey Perry. What did you think of their moves? Decent or not?
I don't think Kings Nation are going to be very impressed with this. They had high hopes of the Mitch Marners of the world. One thing I'll say this, though, guys, the best bet in sports, I guess the LA Kings are going to make the Stanley Cup Finals now. Corey Perry has been in the Stanley Cup Finals in 5 of the last 6 years and lost every time. Like, that's amazing. So, like, we always kid about it every year. Yeah, whatever team Perry's on, just put a little future on him to make the Cup Finals. So, I don't know. There seems to be a history there. But the LA Kings, I think, came home empty with this, Scott. Very, very underwhelming offseason. There really wasn't much they could do. So that's why I don't understand. Like, all of these teams, the Ducks talked a big game about, oh, the Ducks owner, we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to go all in the offseason. All in on what? Like, all in on who? Like, who's available? Nicholas Ehlers? Like, okay, go all in on Nicholas Ehlers now. Like, the market is incredibly thin, Scott. There really wasn't a lot of players available in the NHL.
What did you think of Tanev and Nate Schmidt going to Utah? Nate Schmidt just won a cup.
Utah's another one, Scott, that they want to make some noise. And I think Utah, unlike like we see with the Utah Jazz, right? You know, we see the situation there in the NBA. The NHL is a lot whiter than the NBA is. So I'm just going to call it out for what it is. NHL players won't mind Utah if Utah are good, right? They've got to get good, and I think they could be in the mix because that owner is pretty good, Scott. The guy that owns the Jazz, he owns the hockey team.
Right.
Influential in bringing the Olympics there. Big BYU guy, big booster, big tech guy, like big money guy. And he's a hip young dude. He wants to win. And hell, I think Utah, the Jazz, will start to piece things together under this owner. But I think Utah has a future, Scott, of being able to get players, but not yet. Not yet. And the NHL free agency is much ado about nothing. You know, the best players rarely make free agency in the NHL.
So Connor Brown and Jake Allen. Brown goes to the Devils and Allen stays with the Devils. Decent for them?
I like Brown. I like Brown as a hockey player. Allen is just, it's a guy like you talk about these sort of NBA trades that are lateral moves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, like, the Devils need to stay healthy. The Devils already have a good team. As I said, all these NHL teams out there, there's no one to sign, guys. There's nothing you can do. You try to keep the guys that you have.
We'll come back with Morency.
all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than safe, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Talking to Morency, what do you think of Shai Gilgeous? 4 years, $285 million, and he's the highest paid player in the league. And it's only 4 years. Can you imagine making $285 million in 4 seasons, and then they got to pay him again?
Dude, what an agent. What a move, right? This kid's on a roll, Scott. Like, didn't do the, I'll sign a 14-year deal. No, I'll sign a 4-year deal. The cap will go up. There'll be expansion, and I'll make $500 million. He's really pushing all the right buttons. You know what's wild? I just saw, I posted it on X, Scott, that SGA is making the same as the top 6 NHL players combined.
Yeah.
Combined. So you take Draisaitl, McDavid, McKinnon, Pedersen, whoever the hell, the top 6 guys in the NHL right now in the 12 to 13 million range. 6 of them to get to what SGA is going to make in 1 year. Absolutely astonishing, the money that they throw around in the NBA, man.
It really is. And they even throw it around to guys that suck.
I don't know how they do it, to be honest, Scott. Like, you got to figure it's almost like a pyramid scheme that eventually it catches up. Like, a good example, guys, like, look, Ohtani. Ohtani makes like $70 million a year. Ohtani is making the Dodgers back $140 million a year, guys, in sponsorships. Think about that. Never mind the tickets that he sells. Never mind the production on the field. They have like 127 plus whatever million Japanese this and that in sponsorships because of Ohtani. Like, they are making money. Are Oklahoma City making money off of SGA? No. No, they're not. Dude, the tickets were like $300 for the finals. They don't have any money in Oklahoma City, Scott. I don't know where the money's coming from. I get it. Like, the TV money's from the NBA, but wow. Like, that's just insane. So what are we going to be doing, Scott, in a couple of years here? $100 million a year. Like, NBA players can make $100 million a year, and they won't even have that good, like you said. I'm not saying SGA isn't, but it's going to be $100 million a year, bro. It's insanity.
What did you think of the letting Lillard go and signing Miles Turner for the same thing, 4 years, but $107 million? It shows you how soft he really is. $107 million for him, $285 for Shai.
I don't really understand. If you're Milwaukee, what does this do for you? Turner's okay. Yeah, exactly. You've already got Giannis. So what do you want Turner for? To stand around and shoot threes?
And miss
That's what you're paying him. That's what you're paying him to do, as you stated, Scott. He doesn't play like a big man. He doesn't go into paint. He doesn't rebound. He wants to shoot threes. Like the modern NBA player. Don't forget about how big I am. I'm a three-point shooter now. And you're not even that good of a three-point shooter. I don't dislike Miles Turner. But if you're Milwaukee and there's always this, we got to get better around Giannis, I don't see what Miles Turner does for you there.
Do you think Brook Lopez is better than Miles Turner in terms of violence, rebounding, and making threes? I do.
At least Brook will elbow you in the face and fight. And you know what I mean? He has some games where he disappears. He's bad. But, I would rather Lopez, actually. So I don't mind a Lopez.
He won a title, and Turner was awful in the Eastern Conference and the Finals. Now listen, awful might be a strong word.
What are you doing if you're the Bucks?
He did nothing.
What's your roster? What are you doing? What do you have?
They brought back just about everybody on that team, Trent, all these guys, but they got rid of Connaughton today. They traded him to Charlotte. Charlotte is sneakily loading up. They had a great draft, and they've been making the right moves. Believe it or not, I think they're loading up in Charlotte.
Well, Charlotte can only go up, right? I mean, they're arguably the worst run franchise in sports, so all sports. But, I was sort of okay, Porzingis, whatever. I've never been the biggest Porzingis fan, right? But now they bring in Alexander Walker as well and the other little moves they've made in Atlanta, Scott. Atlanta Hawks are putting together a little roster out there right now, I think, in the East as well, man.
Well, when Porzingis plays once a month, they'll be all right. He never plays. People say, when he's healthy, he's great. And I'm like, when is he ever healthy?
It's few and far between. It is few. But I'm just saying that they were a scrappy team last year. I don't think they're going to suck. You look at the Eastern Conference, it's going to be fun. I like what the Raptors are pretty much the same team. But we never saw Ingram with them. But the Eastern Conference wide open.
Capella went to Houston, and he's a lot tougher than Porzingis, and he plays. So they're
got
rid of a guy that bangs.
They're another one.
And that plays for a guy that can shoot threes that plays once or twice a month. It really is unbelievable, some of the moves. All right, Morency, have a great show tonight. I'll check you out, brother.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. When they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and safe, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Always good to hook up with Mike DeCourcy, the famed scribe from the Sporting News. You can see him during the college basketball season on Fox Sports and the Big Ten Network. He's on the take for the Indiana Hoosiers. Always good to have him on Coast to Coast. The coach, Punxsutawney Phil of the USA soccer program, has got the boys in red, white, and blue in the semis, right, of the Gold Cup. Very exciting what's happening there. What did you think of their penalty kick win over Costa Rica, Mike?
I will tell you, Scott, that I don't think I've ever seen a better shootout performance by a goalkeeper than Matt Freese delivered in that game. Now, look, I mean, he wasn't going against Lionel Messi and that group. It was Costa Rica, which is not the best iteration of Costa Rica that we've ever seen. But to get his hand on 5 of the 6 attempts and to stop 3 of them, amazing. He guessed correctly on 5 of the 6 attempts and at least got a fingertip to 5 of them. You just don't see that, Scott. It doesn't happen. And he said after the game that penalty shootouts are his thing. He's good at it. And he was really good at it on Sunday night. Not the greatest opposition, but no matter who you're going against, like if it was me and you going up there to kick penalty, they still have to guess right or we've got a wide open goal. And he was able to do that consistently. Does a great job. Yeah, I fell into that myself. Guess. It's not guess. They're reading it. They're trying to anticipate based on body language and angle which way the player is going to go with their attempt. So it's not really a guess. It's a read. They don't always read correctly, but this time he did it almost every time.
So they're playing Guatemala tomorrow, right? Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on FS1 in the 1 semi, and then Mexico and Honduras is the nightcap, same channel, right after the USA game. They look pretty good, all things being equal, going into this game. And I guess for the first time, some excitement about them for next year in the real World Cup, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what this Gold Cup is doing, and a loss to Guatemala would maybe undo some of it because Guatemala is not a powerhouse. They got a fortunate draw in that sense. Mexico got a slightly less fortunate, but still fortunate to not have to play Panama, which had come in as one of the favorites in this tournament. Both Canada and Panama lost quarterfinal games that led to these semis. So I think if it's not Mexico, U.S., it's going to be a little bit of a disappointment for the United States. But they have developed some elements of their 2026 World Cup team through the use of this tournament. Max Arfston, the left back for Columbus Crew, he was involved in all 4 goals on Sunday night. 2, he helped surrender. He committed a penalty. That led to a goal for Costa Rica. Then he got beaten at the top of the box, and that led to another. So he's got to do better defensively. But now the U.S. knows they go next year. They maybe need some help in the back offensively, and they can bring him in. Or if Jedi Robinson were to get injured, they know what they can get from Max. Malik Tillman, their midfielder, is the starter now on the full national team. When they get everybody in camp, hopefully in September for the friendly they'll play in Columbus, he belongs on the field. There's no doubt right now. Gio Reyna, terrific talent, hasn't gotten on the field much for Dortmund. Here's Malik Tillman, just got transferred to Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, the same league, and he's gotten transferred for $40 million or so and playing brilliantly. So they've learned that, and now they know that they've got another keeper in Freeze that they can use in certain situations. Maybe they get into a World Cup and they're late in the game and they've got a sub left and they're playing. Let's say they're playing Matt Turner at keeper, but would you not want to put Matt Freeze into the game for a shootout if you needed it to move on to the next round? I sure would. So they've learned a lot about this team.
Yeah, he's fantastic in that pressure moment, no doubt. Who do you like in that Mexico other semi? Are they the favorites, and are you taking them?
Yeah, Mexico's favorite, and that's who I would be picking if in that circumstance. Honduras did a really nice job against Panama of breaking down. Panama, when they want to bunker and just play defense, they're really tough to get through. But Honduras did a really nice job on Sunday night in Minneapolis of breaking through and getting a goal. And then, of course, they advanced as well in a shootout. The way the rules are set up for this, Scott, is that in the quarterfinals and semifinals, if you don't have a winner after 90 minutes, you go straight to penalties. In the final, which will be Sunday, if it's still tied up at the end of 90 minutes, they will play extra time, 30 minutes, and then they'll go to penalties if necessary.
So in the Club World Cup, we saw Palmeiras advance, Chelsea, PSG slaughtered Miami 4-0. Bayern won easily. Inter Milan lost to Fluminense. And then how about Al Hilal upsetting Man City? And then today, Real Madrid and Juventus are scoreless. So I guess, I know on Saturday, I believe, first Friday is Fluminense and El Hilal, Palmeiras and Chelsea. Saturday, a great game, PSG and Bayern. That's as good as it gets. That could be a final, if you ask me.
Yes.
Those two teams are so good.
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of people are using this tournament as a referendum on the MLS salary cap system. And maybe the cap could be higher. I'm not saying it couldn't. But the cap system itself, I'm a believer in that in every sport. Because remember, a cap system doesn't say you're not paying any players. What it says is that everybody kind of has the same pot to deal with. And it's really about how smartly you spend that money. Baseball needs it in Major League Baseball. They need it desperately. We see it in NFL, NHL. And MLS, it makes the league more interesting. And so the interesting thing is that everybody using that as a referendum on MLS, what about Manchester City getting their tail kicked by Saudi Arabia, Al Hilal? I mean, does that mean the Premier League needs to reconsider what they're doing? No, it just was a game that happened and they weren't good enough that night. Look, there's nobody and no way that Miami is going to be as good as the best team in the world. Paris Saint-Germain is the best team in the world. The only team that's even had a year close to them this year was Liverpool. And for whatever reason, the silly math that led to this, they didn't even get in this tournament.
So let's switch gears. What did you think, obviously, of the sad passing of Dave Parker before he goes into the Hall of Fame? And what did you think of the Steelers' deal for Ramsey and Jonnu Smith for Minkah Fitzpatrick, basically?
Well, I'm at least a little bit pleased that Dave was able to know that he's a Hall of Famer and that he'll be in Cooperstown forever. It frustrates me, though, Scott. When I was a voter very briefly for the Naismith Hall of Fame, Dennis Johnson was on the ballot. And I'm like, yeah, Dennis Johnson, absolutely, Hall of Famer, no question. Greatest defensive guard maybe at that point ever. And maybe Peyton surpasses him, but certainly in that conversation. And he didn't get in on either of my 2 times voting. And then he passes away maybe 6 or 8 years later, and then he gets in. That shouldn't happen. And so I'm glad that Dave knew, but it should have happened many years earlier. He was a Hall of Famer. As for the trade, I like it. I don't see how you don't like getting 2 star players for 1 star player. Unless that 1 star player is the greatest player in the game, and Minkah's terrific, but he's not that. I think that the Steelers absolutely did the right thing here. There's a lot of consternation about getting a second wide receiver. Look, it doesn't matter to me who you throw the ball to. If you move the ball downfield, you get first downs and touchdowns. Jonnu Smith certainly gave that to a team in Miami last year that needed it badly.
So do you like their chances now? Everyone thinks they're not going to be any good. I think they're going to be the same they always are. 9-10 wins automatic.
It all depends on Rodgers. I'm not a believer. You know that, Scott. But what if he surprises us? If he surprises us, they have a lot of other good pieces.
I hope he surprises.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course than OKC, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We're talking about the NBA free agent signings at this point with Carver High on a Tuesday. Good to have you with us on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. All right, tons of guys have new deals, new teams.
Yeah, a lot of guys switching teams, have big deals. Let's try to go through a whole bunch of them here since last night. We already did the Turner stuff. Of course, the Bucks signed Miles Turner, 4 years, $107 million. In the process, they waived Damian Lillard. They'll stretch the $113 million remaining over the next 5 years. So that $22 million per year will count against the Bucks cap for the next 5 years. Lillard will get all that money, but he is going to be free to sign wherever he pleases. Of course, he's going to be rehabbing from the torn Achilles. We'll see what happens.
Deal.
The one thing I did see with he gets 20
money.
He gets $22 million for the next 5 years, no matter what, and he can go get a new deal. Now, the one advantage he has now, he can join a winner on a vet minimum or something like that because he knows he's getting that $22 million coming his way. So like you say, it is kind of a sneaky good thing for Dame Time, who would like to maybe add a championship to his career before it all comes down. So he might have a chance to do that here over these next few years.
Let me just say this, too. On the other note, all right, fair enough. On the deal for Turner, I think at the end of the day, it's not the worst deal I've ever seen that they only have to give him $107 million. I mean, look at the market. Look at what guys are making. I said it before. Shai Gilgeous, $285. This guy gets 4 years and $107. So that, to me, is like going out to McDonald's for dinner. Like, that's just a better deal for them. And he'll, the guy can shoot. I'll give him that. He can shoot the rock. And, I mean, he's, like, I said before, he doesn't do a lot for me in the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals. I thought he disappeared. But in general terms, he can shoot the rock. He's big. He's tall. He can rebound, etc. He's not the worst player I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong. A lot of guys that are hacks in the NBA. He's not a hack. So I think for the cost, it's effective for them and efficient for them. That's a good deal because they got to pay this other guy all this money. It's almost like, if you really look at it, $22 million a year and change plus the 107. is essentially like paying Shea Gilgeous $285 to pay this guy off and to pay that guy. That's basically what they're paying. It's around the same amount of money.
Right. And I did see the reports which said Miles Turner did not want to leave Indiana. Him and his agent went back to Indiana several times. They wanted to stay with the Pacers, and the Pacers, I guess, refused to go to that second apron on the salary cap. I know that's a lot of salary cap mumbo jumbo talk, but the Pacers, even after an NBA Finals run where they went to the 7th game, they did not want to spend up to that level to keep Turner. So they let him walk away.
But what does that tell you? It tells me that they grew leery of his productivity. The guy disappeared when it mattered most. TJ McConnell played bigger than Miles Turner. He really did. He had an 18, he had a 16, he had all the steals, he had all the dimes, he even had rebounds. He's 6'1", soaking wet. Here's this guy, this monster, doing nothing. There's no way they wanted to give him that kind of money. He's not worth it. So they gave up on him. That's exactly what happened. There's no cutting any corners here. They weren't going to pay him what he wanted. He wanted to stay there, and they didn't want him because he did the Houdini in the playoffs. He was the vanishing big. He disappeared. Simple as that.
Yeah, he certainly did. We told you earlier, Giannis allegedly not happy. I guess that would be the big talk now.
I don't care about his happiness anymore. This is another one of these stories. This is like talking about Aaron Rodgers for 3 months with nothing.
Yeah.
There's no substance at all to this. If he's not happy, then go to church. Go to a
That's
shrink.
what it'll be now.
I don't know what to tell you. Talk to your wife.
Yeah. Every 3 or 4 days now, you'll get Giannis, I'm not happy.
No thanks.
That'll be now. Now it's going to be until Giannis is re-signed or traded. This is all you're going to get now. Yeah. He gets his extension or he gets traded. It's all you're going to hear about is Giannis. All right, other stuff. Brook Lopez to the Clippers, 2 years, $18 million. There was talk he was going to go to the Lakers, Scotty, but I guess the Lakers, with potentially getting Ayton, they decided to not go after Lopez, who now goes to the Clips.
Listen, that guy is worth $9 million, just like as the sun comes up. I mean, the bottom line is he hits threes, he rebounds, he's physical. Now, people say he's slow and all the rest. Yeah, what? So am I. But I still pour it in, and he can pour it in, and he can rebound. And there's guys like that are crucial to teams. He's very big, enormous, physical, wide-bodied. In terms of screens, his pick and roll screen is literally the length of a car. I mean, the guy is, when he stands with his legs spread and you got to get around him, good effing luck. $9 million, to me, the blue light special Carver High. I mean, honestly, I love that guy. He still got it. And now his brother's a hack who attacks mascots and stuff. But this other guy, Brooks, he still balls as far as I'm concerned. That's a steal.
The Rockets have gotten considerably better. Of course, the Rockets made the big KD trade, and now they add Dorian Finney-Smith, 4 years at $54 million, and Clint Capella, 3 years at $21.5 million. A couple additions to Houston.
Those are great additions as far as I'm concerned. I'm not freaking out about Dorian Finney-Smith, but he can play without a doubt. And Clint Capella is 5 times tougher and more rugged and dependable than the Zinger. The Zinger is as soft as a donut. I mean, he'll get injured, I think, getting off the plane in Atlanta. He'll be out 3 months. He'll stub his toe or something getting off the stairs. I mean, honestly, that guy is injured. I play with more injuries than that guy. I never miss playing ball. That guy misses playing ball every week. He misses games every week.
Kalshi has been around since 2018, offering these event contract trading prediction markets where you can wager on things like the weather, whether or not Dave Portnoy is going to give a 9.0 on his next pizza review spot, and then the election, which is where they really made headlines. Election betting is technically illegal.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Put Pete Crow Armstrong on the mound to see what he does. Like, Ohtani, just by himself at the plate, is the best hitter in Major League Baseball. Let's just say, keep it in the National League at this point. He's the MVP. So I can't wait till he pitches 6 innings, gives up 5 earned runs. Time they go like, I don't know if he could be the MVP now. Oh, no, he's still hitting 300 with 45 jacks and just pitched 6 innings in a Major League Baseball game. And people are going to hold that against him.
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
If you're betting $50 a pop, doesn't matter. But if you want to bet $2 or $3 grand each side and literally have plus 110 on both sides, not the worst way to make some money on a Sunday night.
Not at all, right? I mean, and that's amazing. I've never really watched this in real time where you see these odds fluctuate with penalty kicks going on.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scott, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Like, don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Live in that world, Frank. Know that. Keep tabs. When I drop a 24 burger, it's a 24 piece with barbecue tangy. Real tangy. Grab the tequila, Frank, and my pills. I got to go on a trip. All right, Carver High. I'm under a tremendous strain. Frank giving me the business. You heard him. Giving me the business.
Well, yeah, I know he's excited. He's a big Knick guy. Remember, he was hanging out in the streets during the playoff run
down
for the
in
Knicks,
hood.
and I saw a lot of Knick people very excited today because what was the Knicks' biggest problem this past year? They had no bench. They basically ran the same 5-6 guys over and over again throughout the game. Well, they have made some additions to try to help that. First of all, they signed Jordan Clarkson. Remember, he, of course, released by Utah.
I like
He's
him.
He's got the most points off the bench since 2020. So he knows how to score off of that. And then they also got this Yabusele, this French guy from the Sixers, 2 years, $12 million, who actually, he not do bad. He could shoot from the outside, average like 11, 12 points for the Sixers. Frank keeps talking about some big dunk he had on LeBron in the Olympics. So
that's 28 points right there between Clarkson and Yabusele that they lacked on that bench. I mean, do you remember when they were like rolling out Jericho Sims? Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. Honestly, like they finally got a couple guys that can score. Frank, he hangs out at Rucker too. Did you know that? Like when he's not when he's not down in the scrums on 33rd and 7th, in the middle of it all, he rolls over to Rucker in the steamy, sticky Jones, outdoor park style, like going into the hood. Frank knows where to roll up on people.
I didn't know he hung out down there at Rucker. I didn't know about that.
Who doesn't?
Another team that has made some additions. Of course, we know that the Hawks got the zinger last week from Boston. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, of course, been a part of those Timberwolf teams the last couple of years. 4 years, $62 million for him. Luke Kennard, 1 year, $11 million as well. And suddenly, look at this. I mean, people started running to the window, Scotty, to get Hawk tickets after getting Walker, Kennard, and the zinger. Opened at 250 to 1. Yesterday it was 80. Now down to 25 to 1. People believing in the Hawks now.
Okay, let me just clear this up for everybody. Just, so we can save a lot of time here. The Hawks have never sniffed an NBA title, nor will they. I guarantee you, they never win anything, ever. And, they get that new hockey team, they won't win either. Do the Falcons win? They blew a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl at halftime. The only team that's ever won there, and it took them like 50 tries, was the Braves. I mean, remember they won 14 straight division titles and they won 1 World Series. How bad do you suck? Don't get me started. The only team that has ever done anything down there is the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh. That's it. There's nothing else. Honestly, the Hawks win. The Hawks win the
Running to the window. Getting those Hawk tickets.
Come on. No one goes to Hawks games.
Man,
I used to go to I went to 41 Hawk games 3 times. 3 different times I lived there. I went to every game. I mean, what else are you going to do in Atlanta? I would go to Hawks games at night so that I could watch Kobe and I could watch great players come in to beat the Hawks. That's what I did at the Omni and at the Hub, I called it, but it was State Farm now. But I went to every game. I went to. They used to give me the luxury suite at the radio network, and no one would be in it but my buddy and I, and we would drink all the beer, and we would literally smoke oneies. Are we on the air? Don't talk about. Oh, okay. So the Hawks aren't winning the title. Don't talk. Don't even. Okay.
Yeah, the Hawks. People very excited.
They frown on this type of behavior. You tell me frequently here.
Yeah, we don't like behavior that gets frowned upon. We'll do more deals when we come back. Bottom 2 in Toronto. The Yankees did get 2 runs in the first off of Jason Dominguez 2-run single, and now Fried out here, bottom 2, dealing against the Jays. He just rang up another strikeout.
What do they call him? The Martian? The Dominguez? Is that what they call him?
The Martian, yes. They call him the Martian.
What a horrible nickname.
Yeah.
I can't even believe I'm saying pitcher's battle and using the words Patrick Corbin. But can I tell you, Scott, he's a different guy. He's a totally different guy with the Rangers than we've seen.
I say this all the time. Don't worry about the first 5 innings. Don't even watch the first 5 innings in Texas Ranger games. Because for whatever reason, there's a ton of runs scored in the first 5, and then it just stops. It just stops.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
No way that I'm betting on the Cleveland Cavaliers for any reason whatsoever.
No.
Ever. Like, when they had LeBron James, it was a different story. I think Spider's great. He's no LeBron. I don't see him carrying them to a title. And I don't believe in the Knicks at all. The Knicks never get it done.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Kevin Durant, at the age of 36 years old, after 17 seasons that he has played in the NBA DRS, is now on his way to H-Town.
I don't think it's a great move. I wanted him to go to a ready-made championship team full of a veteran roster and see if he can ring chase that way. Not to go to an organization on the come-up that if you just stay the course, and also, what better blueprint do we have than just staying the course and okay, safe, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.